Hello everybody, my name is Karen Ellis and I am thrilled to be here once again delivering a video exclusively for the Canadian Scrapbooker magazine. In this issue I created some Kanzashi flowers. Here we are. Love these little Kanzashi flowers and a whole lot of projects that use these sweet little darlings. And I mentioned in my article, which is found at Scrapbooker's Gift by the way, that I would show you all how to create this canvas envelope. Now this canvas envelope is from Canvas Corp and it is already pre-done for you. It's already pre-made. It is 5 by 7, so it will hold some photographs or some receipts or whatever you like to keep to treasure. You treasure your receipts. But anyway, it is here and it's really pretty, and I can't wait to show you the technique that I used to decorate it. I am going to be doing a resist, and to get the design on the canvas, I am going to be using my Crafter's Workshop template. This is Whimsical Vines, and I will show you how with a little bit of water and paint you too can create a fantastic pattern on your canvas. If you stick to the end of the video, you crocheters out there will be interested to know that I will go through how I created this crocheted border on the envelope. So I hope you enjoy this today. Thank you for watching. Let's get started. When you purchase your canvas envelope from Canvas Corp, you will notice that it is a natural canvas, which means it has not been primed or gessoed. You need to do that. You need to take some gesso. This happens to be the one that I use. It is an acrylic base, and I just use my wash brush, which is just like a flat edge brush. This one's about 1 inch wide, and I just kind of went along and painted the areas in which I was going to apply the paint. You do want to apply gesso. This is what's going to give you the pattern at the end of the resist technique that I will be showing you today. But even if you weren't, you should always prime your canvas. I equate it to you'd never paint your house without priming the walls first. It's the same idea. Don't paint a canvas without priming first. You want to prep your surface so that it's ready to take the paint that you're going to use. So I have put gesso on the entire back of the envelope and the front, but I did not do the inside or the flap here because I want to keep that natural for this particular project. But if you were going to paint it, go ahead and gesso it. So I'm going to work on the back first, and I have some Claudine Helmuth landscape green paint here, and I'm going to use that today. So I'm just going to dip my brush in. It's not a very wet brush, and I'm going to paint this canvas. Okay, notice I'm kind of going in different directions. I'm going horizontally and vertically. Why I'm doing that is I want to get into all the little crevices, all those little weaves that are in the canvas. So I'm just going to dip my paintbrush in the paint and spread that on. See, it's wet, but it's not sopping wet. I'm not making a wash. I'm painting it. So I'm not adding water to my brush. I don't know if you're noticing that, but I want to draw your attention to it. So it's almost like there we go. Get up there, come on. There we are. All right, so there's that. I'm just going to leave it for a second. I want to get the paint that is on my craft sheet away because I don't want it to get on the other side yet. So let's get this cleaned up. Yay for craft sheets. Okay. So now I'm going to take, while the paint is still tacky, yeah, it is still wet, I'm going to take the Whimsical Vines template and place it on the canvas. Now we want to make sure that it's dry. I had this out earlier, so excuse my reach. I had this out earlier, so I just want to make sure it's dry. And I'm going to place it down on my canvas where I want the pattern to show. And then I'm going to take a piece of paper towel and mask off the areas that I don't want to spray. I only want to spray water in where my template is showing. So here is water in a mini mister, and I have some in there ready to go, looking to see where my nozzle is, and I am just going to spray. I always have to tell myself that, because if it's ink, it usually ends up in my face. So there you go. So I did a nice spray of water over my template. I'm going to remove the paper towel, and I'm going to lift the template straight up, and I do that so that I don't get any water that might have pooled onto the top of the template on my canvas. I'm just going to blot this dry. There we are. And now I'm going to get ready to do the other side. Here we are. I'm going to place that down. I'm going to put my paper towel back on there very lightly. I'm not pressing it down. I don't want it to go in the paint yet. And just kind of masking off the area I don't want to spray. And now that I'm here, I'm just going to push that in so that I get a nice seal on the template. There we are. We'll remove the paper towel and lift straight up. Okay. And I'm going to blot that for use on the other side of the envelope. Now, this will take a minute to set. By adding water, what we're essentially doing is making it take a lot longer to dry in the areas where the template was showing. Okay, so we're going to take some paper towel and put it on top of this in a minute and blot it dry, and then when we do, the paint that was wet is going to stick to the paper towel and be removed from the canvas envelope, which is what gives us the revealed pattern here. So let's give this a second. No, probably okay. I like it to set. I want to make sure that the rest of the paint is set, because we don't want all of the paint to come off. Let's leave it a minute. Start doing the Jeopardy countdown. Do, 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 do. Okay. I am going to let this sit for another 30 seconds. I'm going to stop this capture and I will be right back. Okay, I let a few more seconds go by and I think I'm going to try this now. Now cross your fingers, because you never know what you're going to get when you do this. Every time is different. So I'm taking some dry paper towel and I am going to blot it. I'm not smearing it, I'm blotting it. Ooh, I can already see where that paint's coming up. Do you see that? I'm going to put another one down, make sure it comes up. Here we are, blotting it down. Soaking that paint up. Yeah, I think this is going to be good. And I'm just going to blot this part now so that it's not, I'm not tearing it off the back yet. And when I say tear, I mean tear. Because you're going to take it up, you're going to take some paint off, right? So here we are. Let's start moving it back. Oh, look at that. Perfect. Perfect. I'm just going to take my cloth and just remove, there we go. I'm just kind of blending it through. And if your paint's dry enough, it'll help you do that without covering up your pattern. There, see? We have pattern. We have liftoff. Fabulous. Now I'm just going to give this a little shot with my heat gun and dry it, and we're going to turn it over and do the other side. Okay, so I'm starting from the front now, and I have painted it, and I have used my template and spritzed it with the water. So now I'm almost ready to blot dry. You notice that I didn't put the paint on the inside of the canvas. I just kind of left with that fold. Now I think we're probably good. So I'm going to put this down. This is always the part that scares me. I just really want to make sure that this works, especially when I'm on film. But if it doesn't, feel free to go and gesso over it again, dry the gesso, and start again. The only thing that'll happen, this is paint. Worst thing that happens is you gesso over it and do it again. And that's the same whether you're working on a canvas envelope or a canvas that you hang on your wall. It's no problem. There we go. So I think we're going to get a good image here. Maybe I'll wait just a little bit longer. Okay, here we go. Wonderful. Yay! I like it. I see a couple of areas here I could dab with some paint. That's good. I don't want to blend it in too much though. This paint isn't quite as dry as it was last time, but hey, it worked. Take a look. Cool. There's the one side and there's the other. Now to finish this, I took the Kanzashi Flower and I took some twinery twine and I just wrapped some around my finger just to make a little loop. And now I'm just going to take some 3-in-1 glue and I'm going to adhere it I'm near the end of my 3-in-1 glue by the sound of it. Here we go. I'm going to adhere it to my canvas envelope. Here we go. Just going to hold it in place there for a second. Voila. See? How cute is that? Love it. Now there's an area here that didn't get quite as crisp as I might have liked it. I do like the impression. I'm not always out for perfection when I do my crafting, as anybody who knows me knows that. But if you are wanting something a little bit more crisp, again, feel free to gesso and do it again. Just make sure that the gesso is completely dry before you start the process again. So there you are. So I am going to go ahead and show you all how I crocheted the edge. Okay, this is Friction. It's a pen from Pilot. See if I can get it so that oh, it doesn't want to focus. Anyway, Frixion, Friction pen, and this is a pen that disappears when you heat it, which is very cool. So for example, here we are. I just wrote on the paper towel. I'm going to take my heat gun and I'm going to heat it, and look at that. It disappeared. So I liked using this pen to make dots on where I want to do holes and cuts and things so that I can just heat it and it disappears and nobody will know any different. So actually before this, oh, it's set pretty well. I'm going to take it off. I'll put it back on after I'm done this. So I'm going to do a dot right in the center where my envelope points, the flap of the envelope points. And now I'm going to measure equidistance here in half. One right here and one right here in all three corners. That's about, I guess it would help if I had it right this way. Okay, it's about 4 inches approximately. So around the 2 mark, I'm going to do another dot, and I'll do one here at the 3 and one here at the 1. You get the idea. So that I have 5 dots on my canvas, approximately in the middle of that of the flap, where the stitch line is, the hem, if you will. Okay. So here we are. It's approximately 4. I'm not too concerned about it being exact because I just want it as a guideline. All right, so I'll put the pen away. And now I have, I'm going to use the twine and with a needle with a fairly large eye hole in it, so that it'll go through. You don't want it to be blunt though. It is going to go through canvas. And I'm going to go up through, make a blanket stitch. Hold on, let's get a good. All right, so I'm just going to pull this through right where that first hole was. And I'm going to put it through again. And this time I am going to kind of knot it in place, as so. And then I'm going to go up through the next hole. And as I said, do a blanket stitch, which basically means I am going to go put my needle through the first stitch. There we go. So that the twine stays on the top of the canvas envelope flap. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that for all of those. Holes. I think I got too much baker's twine. I think I took like a yard and I don't need a yard. That's okay. It'll work. So there's another stitch. Now I'm in the top. I like to put mine over like that first and then pull it through. I'm pulling it tight, but I don't want it to be scrunchy. So if you do what I just did and pull it tight, just let it out a bit before you go on to the next stitch. Okay. Okay, so there's the final one. And I am going to go ahead and knot that off. So I'm going to go in through again. Just knot it off. All right, it's time to get out the crochet hooks. We are going to do a single crochet all the way across the front of the envelope. So I'm just going to loop my end here and put through my hook. There we go. I'm putting it in. I like to work my ends in as I go. So I'm just doing a single crochet. And a single crochet, for those of you who don't know and who are interested, is you put your hook through the hole, or your stitch in this case, yarn over, and pull it back through the loop. Let me see if I can zoom in. That's about as good as I can do. Okay. So I've got 2 stitches. I want to do 5. Aha! Get your twine, get your twine. In through the stitch and pull through. In through the stitch, get your yarn and yarn over and pull it through. And I just said I wanted 5. There's 4. And there's 5. I'm going to continue on and do 5 in the next stitch. And I'm going to keep going to do that, whoops, all the way across till I get to the end. Okay, so I will join you when I get there. All right, as soon as I started doing that, I realized, oh, I just told you to do 5, and I really only wanted you to do 3 in each blanket stitch. So 3 single crochets in each blanket stitch, and I hope I didn't confuse anybody there. All right, so now I'm at the end of the first row. I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to turn it so now that I'm working this other direction. And this is where we're going to get the scallops in. So I've chained, and now I'm going to do a double crochets, and this is where the 5 came in. I apologize. I'm going to do 5 double crochets in the next stitch. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops, come on, Karen, get that hook through there. 5, all in the same stitch. Okay, I'm just going to get some more twine off my roll here. And then I am going to do a single crochet. I skipped a stitch, by the way, and then I am going to do 5 more double crochets. So basically, in the second stitch of each of those first row that you did, you're going to do a scallop stitch, which is double crocheting 5 double crochets. Okay, I'll just say that one more time once I get to the next one. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so there's 5. And I'm going to, in the first chain of the next stitch, here are the stitches. Oh, sorry, first single crochet. I'm going to do a single crochet. There we are. And then the next stitch, I'm going to do 5 double crochets. Here we go. Here we are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. And I'm going to do that again. 1 single crochet in the next stitch. And do 5 double. But instead of doing it in the very next stitch over here, I just went ahead and did it right at that tip. So the single crochet that's right at the tip of the envelope, that's where I want you to do the next 5 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you avid crocheters out there are probably going, what the heck? But that's okay. And I'm going to do a single crochet in the first single crochet of the next stitch. And then I'm going to continue on and do the scallops down this side. And I will be right back. I'll see you at the end. Okay, so I made it down and did a single crochet in that last single crochet from the first line. And now I'm going to cut my twine and tie it off. And then I'll just take the needle. Here it is. And all I'm going to do now is just weave my ends into place so that it won't come apart on me anymore. There we go. So I'm just going to weave my ends. Again, real crocheters are cringing right now as they see me weave my ends. Trying to follow the lines here. There we go. That's good enough. Few passes. This isn't going to be something that is going to go through major washing or anything. So I will do that. I'm going to get a smaller needle and do this other end and weave that through as well in a moment. So now that I've got that done, I'm going to weave my rest of my ends through. I am going to reattach my Kanzashi flower because I did take it off. Here we are. Hello, Miss Kanzashi Flower. And I'm going to go ahead and zoom out so that you can see. Here's my finished envelope. I do love doing my own little crocheted borders. As you saw, I am not perfect at it, but that's okay. I enjoy it. And there's the back. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for being here with me today and supporting the Canadian Scrapbooker magazine. I really love being a part of that team. So if you have any questions, please feel free to email me, Karen Ellis, at thearthousestudio@rogers.com, or on Facebook. We're at The Art House Studio, also has a Facebook page. I'd love to see you on there as well. Until then, next time, be creative and have a wonderful day. Bye, y'all.